Welcome to Valley Gospel Sunday School class. Today's story is from the book of Matthew, chapter 17, verses 24 through 27. And our Bible verse today is from Philippians 4:19. God shall supply all your need. King James Version. Today's story is about how Jesus provided for himself and for Peter when it came time to pay taxes, and how just like God provided for Jesus and Peter at that time, God will provide for us also. So we start with our story as one day Jesus and his disciples were in a city named Capernaum. Some men who worked for the temple came to see him. They collected money for the temple. All God's people were supposed to pay taxes to the temple. The men asked Peter, "Doesn't your teacher pay his taxes to the temple?" Peter answered, "Of course he does." And here's a picture. Showing Peter and the tax collectors, how they came to his house and asked him to pay the taxes. Just like nowadays, we pay taxes on just about everything. We pay taxes on the money that we work for. We pay taxes on sometimes the food that we eat, like when we eat at restaurants, or taxes on our gas, on our paper products. And here it says, Peter talks with Jesus. After the men left, Peter went into the house where he and Jesus and the other disciples were staying. He wanted Jesus to know the tax collectors were asking whether Jesus paid his temple tax. Now, Peter was kind of upset because the tax collectors that came to ask him for money, and he didn't have any money. And so he was worried, like, where are we going to get money from? Because if you didn't pay your temple tax, they put you in prison. You didn't go, you didn't get a fine, or they wait until you had the money. They threw you in debtor's prison. And so Peter was scared because he knew they didn't have any money at that time. Peter found Jesus. When Jesus saw Peter, he asked Peter a question. "Tell me, Peter, do kings collect taxes from their children or from the people they rule over?" Peter knew the answer to that question. Kings take taxes from the people they rule over. Jesus agreed. Then the king's children are free. So Jesus was letting Peter know that, yes, we're free from the law, where we shouldn't have to feel obligated to pay, but to keep peace, we follow the rules of this land. In our government, we're supposed to pay taxes. We're supposed to stop at red lights. We're supposed to put our seatbelts on. Those are rules of the land for America. And so where they were at, they were following the rules, and Jesus was telling Peter to be peaceful. We will follow the government's rules. Then said Jesus, "We don't want to make the tax collectors unhappy. Go down to the lake and throw in a fishing line. As soon as you catch a fish, open its mouth. You will find a coin in the fish's mouth. Take the coin and pay taxes for you and for me." Now here's a picture. Da, da, da. Peter went fishing, and sure enough, there was a fish there that had a coin, a big coin in it, enough to pay for Jesus' tax and Peter's tax. And this is how God provided a miracle. He made a way out of no way, an impossible way. Who would have known or thought to go fishing to find money in a fish's mouth? Nobody but Jesus. He knew it. Peter did exactly what Jesus told him to do. Have you ever gone fishing? Let's pretend to help Peter fish. It says, just as Jesus had said, Peter found a coin inside the fish's mouth. It was just enough money to pay the temple tax for both Jesus and Peter. Peter took the coin out of the fish's mouth. Peter hurried to the temple and paid the temple tax. He had money because God had provided for his need and for Jesus' need. So here's a bag, and there's a coin right there that was enough to pay for Jesus' tax and Peter's tax. That just lets us know that when we put our trust in Jesus, we can rest assured that God the Father loves us so much that he provides for us through his son Jesus. That whatever needs we have, we can take it to him and he will supply our needs. It may not be the way that we think, because I'm quite sure Peter didn't think, when he told Jesus that they needed money, he didn't think, okay, there's a fish out there somewhere with some money in it for me. No, I don't know what he thought, but I'm quite sure it wasn't that. God comes up with things that we never think of ways to provide for us. So we can't put a limit on God, because he can do anything, any kind of way he wants. And here, God cares about the needs of his people. He cares about your needs. He cares about my needs. He provides your need for food and clothes and a place to live. He provides for your need for your parents and the schools and teachers and people to take care of you. God provides for all of our needs. And just like now with this season, it's a different season, a time where it can be unsettling, scary. God has already made a way. All we have to do is trust him, ask him to show us, and he'll do that. It may not be what we think, but it'll be the best for us. So just have faith in God. Like for the new school season coming up, we don't know what the plans are. The school system doesn't even know. What you can do is pray and ask God to lead you in the best way through his son Jesus, and he'll do that. Because he loves us. He said all we have to do is ask. Ask and believe. Until next time, Valley Gospel.